I think. Oh, okay, we're being recorded. So we welcome everyone that's here today with us, and also those who are going to watch later online. At Unity of London, we practice and value the joyful sharing of loving service with our members as well as our entire community. And Unity of London has the same vision statement as nearly all the unities worldwide. And unity is a movement. It's not all about being a church. And the vision statement is a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. What kind of world would it be like if everybody was constantly just sharing their spiritual awakenings, sharing their joy, sharing their love, taking care of one another, no hate, nothing but love? Well, we can have that, we believe, and it's one person at a time. And how we do that with our mission at Unity of London is we co-create with spirit to transform lives through that shared spiritual awakening. And how do we do that? Well, there's different ways. We provide by being a loving, inclusive, and supportive community, by promoting self-expression, by living what we believe, the 5 principles of unity, by inspiring people to make a positive difference in the world, and as an organization by providing it's hard to read, it's blurry, Larry, I'm not, but I know it's about providing education and inspiration and spiritual knowledge to others. And we have one announcement. Well, actually I have 2 announcements today. One we have on a slide, and that is that today's the 2nd Sunday in July, so it's Celebration Sunday. We have breakout rooms for prayer. Wilda will be in room 1 and Pauline in room 2. So just either put a note in the chat or let us know at the end of the service that you'd like individual prayer, and we can put you, Larry will put you in a prayer room. Also, as I mentioned, today's Celebration Sunday. So while we're going through the service, think about all the things that you're celebrating that you can share with us today. And the other thing that I did not do a slide for, but we've been talking about small groups, especially after our town hall meeting. And so next Sunday, following the service and fellowship, there'll be about a 15-minute information session on those small groups and how you can take part and be part of making a difference in our local community and beyond by hosting maybe your small group. And now we'll take it into prayer. So I invite you to become comfortable in your seat and close your eyes if you're comfortable doing that. But the main thing is to take your awareness from your head and into your heart. Feel your heart beating, the life force that is spirit flowing through you. No matter about what happened, was going on this morning before we got together, and it doesn't matter what's happening after, we're going to be just here in the now. In July, we hold the Unity Spiritual Center of Windsor and Unity Church of Mississauga in our prayer. We hold our entire Unity of London community in our prayer, and everyone that's connected with those people. For we know that there are people that are struggling with all kinds of different issues, but they're all a chance to transform. For we know that regardless of what is going on, wherever we are, God is. In particular, we also hold in prayer those and their families that were involved in the building that collapsed in Florida. May they find the people that they need to find, and everyone find some sort of peace and understanding through this difficult time. We also hold those that are affected by weather-related disasters, whether it's the extreme heat, forest fires, tornadoes. We're not sure why all these things happen, but there's a reason for it. For nothing happens by chance. It's all part of the plan. We see people being vaccinated all around the world, and some of this chaos returning to order, that we can hug each other again and truly love one another, not from a distance, but closely. I invite you now to take a few moments and whisper into the space the names of those that you would like to hold in prayer. And as we begin this wonderful, wonderful service, we all open our hearts and our minds to something that will make a difference for us, a transformation, a spiritual awakening. And we know that this is all happening with love and gratitude. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. And now Dawn will read from today's daily word.
Yes, the title for today's daily word is Pray for Others. I know the truth of each dear one I hold in prayer. What an honor it is to hold others in prayer. I am grateful for this sacred trust and use it to see beyond appearances, knowing they are temporary conditions. I focus on the unchangeable truth that each one for whom I pray is a divine being, a living expression of God. As I pray for others, I envision divine peace, calming thoughts, and strengthening faith. I see healing leading to the realization of wholeness. I pray divine love and wisdom create harmony in relationships, guiding every decision. I affirm divine order is established in every area of life. I claim for them the zeal to complete everything that needs to be done. I then give thanks, grateful to bless others with the gift of prayer. Again, truly, I tell you, if two of you agree on earth about anything you ask, it will be done for you by my Father in heaven. Matthew 18, verse 19. And now I have the honor to introduce our speaker. We are delighted to again have speaker for today, Reverend Linda Dominik. Originally from Rochester, New York, Reverend Linda Dominik graduated Unity Ministry in 1987 and has served churches in New York, Ohio, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, and has spoken at numerous others, including Windsor and Unity of London. She is a retreat and workshop facilitator, and her poetry and short stories are included in 3 published anthologies. She received her master's degree in humanistic and clinical psychology in 2001 and continues to explore the interface between spirituality and psychology. Reverend Linda presently lives in Ypsilanti, Michigan, with a gray cat named Dizzy. Please let's welcome her back to Unity of London with her presentation about understanding. Welcome, Reverend Linda.
Mute. Good morning, everyone, and what a pleasure to be here. I so enjoyed the camaraderie of you all beforehand. I thought, wow, we're not even at fellowship yet, and they're already having a good time. Gee, this is absolutely fantastic. And I always think of it as the legacy that my friend Lori Hisson has left you all in the establishment of that wonderful, wonderful ministry of London. Phew. Well, the title of my talk today, if I recall it correctly, is Understanding Means More Than Just Saying, I Got It. And how often do we use that phrase, I got it? In fact, as I was thinking about the talk this morning, I realized that my good fortune in having to learn several other languages as I lived in other parts of the world was every single one of them has that sense of, I got it. You know, when I lived in South America, somebody would look at you and say, entiende? And I'd go, sí, entiendo, I got it. Or the same thing in German or in Turkish when I was a Peace Corps volunteer there. All of our languages have that term, I got it. But what does it really mean? What does I got it really mean? Because I've also experienced in my life that the phrase I got it can be it's a cutoff. Yeah, I got it, enough. Or cut to the chase, okay, good, I got it. It's a way of stopping people. And I must confess that listening to someone talk, for those of us who are attached to the wisdom of our own word, it's like, okay, get through already so I can give you my opinion on this, or I can give you my answer on this. And so you go, I got it, and zoom right back, well, let me tell you about my experience. But as I said, what does it really mean? Well, in Unity, and Unity's version of New Thought, we teach the term understanding. And it is one of the 12 powers, or as we like to call them these days, possibilities, potentialities, capacities, attributes, in which we participate in these attributes of God. So what does understanding really mean? Well, Charles Fillmore, in fact, the definition of understanding was very simple. He said, God stands under all things. God stands under all things. I remember hearing that in my first Unity church way back in I think it was 78 or 79. And I thought, what does that really mean? And of course, over the years, my understanding of that, and there's that word again, has expanded. Having moved eventually from the childhood of, yes, there's this big God who's standing under the whole world or on a throne, taking care of the whole world, to understanding that, well, what is it? Is it an energy? Is it a presence? Is it a concept? Whatever word we choose to define it, it is the intelligence, the intelligent agent or energy which governs our universe. And when we commit to making that statement to ourselves, I understand that there is one power and one presence in the universe, God, the good, omnipotent. And very often we will then continue and say, this one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. And I, as an individualized expression of that, am ever one with perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. And we go, I got it. And then as your opening speaker, your platform person today, so carefully and poignantly delineated the doubts that arise. Why did a building in Florida collapse? Why was there a horrendous fire that obliterated Lytton in British Columbia? Why are today we finally having rain when it has been scorchingly hot and remains so? It's the why? Why does a child fall from a climbing tower and end up with broken bones? Why is there road rage? Why are we discovering untold lost cemeteries with children buried in them? And why would anyone really, whatever country you were living in, want to deny an identity to another group of people? Why? So what does understanding really mean? And what is it that we are understanding? What I'd like to do this morning is take us beyond that basic, simple, God stands under all things. But I start there because God is the foundation. However your soul chooses to define it for your own personal belief, it is that foundation. And when we make that commitment to believe in that, we also begin to recognize that we live and move and have our being in that presence. Why? Because we are an individualized expression of it. That's why the practice of meditation in Unity is so important. How can we know who we really are if we do not spend time in the presence of that one, so that we may begin to understand its likeness within ourselves as it says in Genesis 1:26, and God created humankind in God's image and likeness. And then we look around and go, wow. And we've moved from, and God created man and woman, to an infinite variety of gender identities. Our world changes so rapidly today that the underpinnings on which we've built our foundations seem to be shifting all over the place, just like the land under that sad, sad building in Florida. So what we're looking at, friends, is this concept of understanding. And as I said, it's a power, which means it's a practice in which we engage. And I'd like to suggest that one of the keys to practicing understanding well is to listen without judgment, to listen without the mind already going, okay, I can wipe out point A this way, and I can wipe out point B that way. Okay, as soon as he or she is done, I'll make my statements. Yeah, it's true confessions for ego here. It took me a long time to get past that one. When we listen without that preparation of response, friends, we are empowering others and we are empowering ourselves. So this morning, I'd like to share with you two stories. This one I saw on television, and it was a man who was being interviewed, and he was talking about a youngish man. When I say youngish, probably 30s, okay, maybe 40s. And he was considering entering the political arena. And he got a few friends together, and they said, well, what we should do is, we should get a group together and listen. We should ask them questions, see what they have to say. And so they did that. And after the event was over, two of the fellows that had participated in it were sitting there talking about it and said, well, what was it like? And he said, God, it was absolutely amazing. And he said, really? Well, what did he do? I mean, because this person had charisma and had a personality already. And so he said, well, did he just light up the place? He said, and what did he say? And the other person said, yeah, he lit up the place, but he really didn't say very much. We sat around this table, big conference table, and he asked each person to answer this question. What is the one thing that you would do to create the change that you'd like to see in the universe? And he said they began to talk. They began to speak, and he would nod, and sometimes he'd go, and maybe he'd ask another little question. He said, and eventually everyone had their say. He said, but what happened was the room was lit up by those people because they became impassioned, they became engaged, and they wanted to go forth and do likewise, as we have been told in scripture. And he said, that's amazing. So he never really said that much. No, but he lit the place up. Okay, I will tell you who that person was. That was Barack Obama, who became the 44th president of the United States. Okay, what did I learn from that? That to sit quietly and listen is to empower the other person to speak in their own authenticity, in their own voice. And how do I empower myself? By keeping my mouth shut and listening and listening and listening. Because what I think I know, I sure don't know. And I have the moment here to learn something else, to learn something new, to learn the truth of someone else and discover whether or not I can integrate it into my own belief system. So people are empowered by our practice of listening. And when we listen, we begin to understand, which is to recognize the foundation of other people's worlds. The other thing that I believe it does is it trains us to be present. Because if we are truly choosing to live a spiritual life, and however you want to clarify that or define it is up to you. Does it mean we do a ritual every morning? Do we sit in our chair with our cat in our lap and send Reiki? Yes, we do. Do we do other things? Do we light candles? Do we have mala beads? What do we do? Whatever we do we do that? Yes. But that's the external manifestation of the foundation that resides within us, that we are desiring to bring into manifestation. So I have another story to tell you. And it's funny because this was Thursday and I had been to the chiropractor and I was treating myself after that much pain to a nice breakfast in a diner because it was really a painful adjustment. We're making progress, but as they say in sports, no pain, no gain. And in this case, it really is true. When I got a text from my son. Now, this is my married son, David, who actually lives in Scotland. He lives in the middle of nowhere and 50 miles from that. So I'm not even going to tell you the name of the town. But if you've ever heard of Dundee or St. Andrews, he's about an hour's ride from each of those. Anyway, we talked, he gave me some information that I needed to know. And then he said, I've really had a very difficult afternoon. Okay, that's not the kind of statement my son usually sends me. He said, he is a professor at Edinburgh University in the philosophy department. And he and a graduate student whom he supervises were eating lunch in a restaurant when the woman at the table adjacent to them, a woman about age 50, suddenly began choking on a piece of steak. Now, David, somewhere along the line, learned how to do the Heimlich maneuver. And what he said to me in the text was, Mom, I tried the Heimlich maneuver 3 times and it failed. And so I and 2 other people began giving her CPR. And he said, actually, at one point, my fingers were down her throat trying to get the piece of steak. And he said, my eyes were always very close to her and I was holding her hand. He said, but about a minute before the EMT people and the ambulance got there, I couldn't find a pulse for a minute. And when they started working on her, the look on their face told me she wasn't going to make it. I'm having a cup of coffee in a Coney Island diner and I'm thinking, God stands under everything. And I wrote back to him, I said, well, how are you? And he said, I guess I'm okay, but I'm really thinking about the call that her husband got later that afternoon. And I said, yeah, honey, you go out for breakfast or lunch and you don't come back. But you were present to her. As he said, I was close to her eyes and I was holding her hand. I said, she did not die alone on the floor. Okay, here's the other thing you need to know. This concept of understanding that infinite presence works always exists whether you believe it or not. Because David went to college and any spirituality we ever taught him went out the window. He is not religious in any way. He is not spiritual in any way. He says, Mom, when you're done and you're gone. Okay, incongruent with anything that I believe, but it's what he believes. And yet, He was responsive to what I would call Spirit's prompting. Do everything you can. It reminds me actually of a statement of one of the American presidents, Theodore Roosevelt. I'm sure even Canadians are aware of him. He was a large presence, but he said, do what you can with what you have where you are. And David did. He did the best he could. This concept of understanding to what we are present and how we live and move and have our being in it, friends, awakens us to the God moment whenever it occurs. It can be life-threatening, as this one was, or it can be as prosaic when you're checking out later, which I did. You're at the till and somebody comes up, you got a wagon that's full, and it's usually some guy standing there with a loaf of bread in his hand. And I gave him the 32 pearlies and said, go ahead. He said, are you sure? I said, yeah. He said, but I also got to get a tank of gas. I said, honey, I have nothing else to do today. Was that true? No, of course not. But I had nothing else to do in that moment, in that God moment, except be kind to that person as my son was kind to the person whose life ended that day. Friends, when we think about this concept of understanding, it is so much more than just say, yeah, I got it. It is the foundation of how we make a choice each moment. When we're done here, we're all going to go somewhere. We're all going to do something. But I hope that you walk around the rest of the day going, yeah, I got it. I really got it. Thank you. God bless you. Let's take a breath. Let's close our eyes if we're comfortable doing so. If not, focus on some spot of beauty in your house, wherever you are. Maybe the person next to you, your pet, those gorgeous evergreen trees that were out someone's window. And let us recognize, I understand. I understand that I am an individualized expression of the infinite intelligence that governs the manifest world. I am here to be in service to that intelligence. And the first precept that I need to know is my call is always for love. What does love look like? Love looks like kindness. Love looks like courtesy. Love looks like thoughtfulness. Love looks like a wave at another driver. Love looks like whatever unites us in our humanity, that we may better understand our divinity. We take these few moments and we look within ourselves and say, who am I? And for most of us, unless we're having a hugely egotistical day, we're likely to say, I'm nobody, because we haven't found the cure for cancer. We haven't flown a jet around the world in a record-breaking speed. We haven't even managed to scramble the eggs well this morning. That is our error thoughts. That is our error thoughts. That we are insignificant because we have not achieved something that the world considers to be significant. But did we awaken this morning? Did we recognize that we are here present for one more day in this beautiful universe which infinite love has created, for it to be the matrix in which we live and move and have our being, and simply give the gift of being present as we are. Dear God, I thank you for returning consciousness to me this morning. This soul you have given me is pure and it is beautiful. As I go forth this day, may I be awake and aware to infinite possibility, to empower, to listen, to understand. Praying always in the nature and through the example of Jesus the Christ, our master teacher, we say, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Amen and amen.
Well, thank you so much, Reverend Linda, for a fabulous talk on understanding. And you remind me how often many of us, myself included, say, yep, I've got it. Yep, I've got it. And two wonderful stories that certainly touched my heart and I'm sure brought a few tears to a few of us. And we're grateful for your son and how he tried to help that woman and how it must have changed his life and how proud you would be that you've raised a son to step in like that and be open to God's nudging. So we're going to have one more song and
here we stand this morning, everyone, this family, brothers, sisters, we have come. Hearts and minds are open, voices sing God's glory, working wonders in our lives. We have come to be together. We have come to be renewed. We have come to be a light in the world. We have come to stand united. We have come to stand in truth. We have come to stand in the presence of God. Look around, these faces filled with love. God's light is shining, Spirit in our eyes, in our eyes. Through these doors, hearts rising in this room, arms opening, all who seek are welcome here. We have come to be together. We have come to be renewed. We have come to be a light in the world. We have come to stand united. We have come to stand in truth. We have come to stand in the presence of God. Will you sing out this morning? We have come to be together. We have come to be renewed. We have come to be alive in the world. We have come to stand united. We have come to stand in truth. We have come to stand in the presence. You sound powerful. Let's sing it one more time. We have come to be together. We have come to be renewed. We have come to be a light in the world. We have come to stand united. We have come to stand in truth. We have come to stand in the presence of God. We have come to stand in the presence of God. We have come to stand in the presence of God.
Good morning, everyone.
morning, everyone. Oh, so now we take a few moments to appreciate the abundance in our world and in our individual lives and in our community. We give thanks for those who continue to give their gifts, whether it's a spontaneous gift now and then, or whether it's a regular tithe. We know that as we all give, we continue to learn where our true source is. And we also learn that as we give, so shall we receive. And so now our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds me. I am the light. The love of God enfolds me. I am the love. The power of God protects me. I am the power. The presence of God watches over me. I am the presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. And in the spirit of unity of London, yay, God. And now our peace song. Have a great day, and it's Celebration Sunday. So we're looking for what you're celebrating in the month of July. Birthdays, anniversary, holidays. So if you could stop sharing, Larry, I'll see if I can. So I'm certainly celebrating that I had 2 weeks holidays. That was fantastic. Dawn, what are you sharing?
On the 14th, I will have a birthday. And as I always say, I'll be 50 again. And my daughter, God bless her, she's 45 and she's dyed her hair gray. I told her that when we're out in public, people are going to think that she's my mother. Oh. So yes, I'll be 50 again.
Oh, congratulations on that returning birthday, Dawn. Catherine, were you waving or just waving?
Can't hear you, Kathy.
No, Catherine, you got to unmute yourself, honey.
Can I speak? Yes.
My coach.
I'm just celebrating that I had one of the best mornings this week. I love you all. I had more fun than, really. I mean, yeah, you need to send a check, but I had a really good time.
We did too. Thank you.
Well, I'm celebrating Linda's message today. I mean, oh my gosh, taking away the why, because there's so much pain in the why and so much anguish. And to just up level that to just the total faith and belief that God is in everything. God is in all of this, and the outcome from all of these things always has a silver lining. So I was so blessed by your talk today, Linda. Thank you so much. And I am celebrating another miraculous recovery from my second knee replacement. Those that were on earlier, I told that I'm walking with no assistance, and tomorrow will be 2 weeks. So it's been a different path this time, and I'm celebrating the difference in it. I'm celebrating having my husband here to take care of me and all the support that I have received, especially from Unity of London. So I'm overwhelmed with gratitude for your support, for your love, Teresa, for the beautiful cards, Wilda for being my angel, bringing me flowers and fruit salad and company. Because having the surgery after just having moved for a couple of weeks was something that I didn't really plan on. So it's just been nice to be held and supported and loved through this. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Who's next?
Okay.
Teresa? Okay.
Oh, mine's a silly one. Believe it or not, at 7:30 this morning, I got my hair cut. Sunday morning, 7. My hairdresser is just the best. She came in and she says, I've got some choices, Teresa. Do you want to come in Sunday morning at 7:30? I says, I'll be there. So it was good.
I thought maybe Jack cut it for you.
No. I cut Jack's hair, but not the other way around.
Well, hopefully it stops raining and my sister can give me a little bit of a trim. Mine's getting long.
I'm celebrating a birthday as well. I live another year. It's amazing. We had a wonderful weekend, and thank you everybody for all the good wishes. I'm also sharing that birthday with a granddaughter that turned 16, so that was fun. We're birthday twins is what she calls us.
Nice.
And we're also celebrating just the crops are doing amazing. Just to see everything growing around us is just such a treat. Thank you. And Reverend Linda, your talk today was just so what I needed to hear. And I thank you so much for it.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. I want to comment on that, folks. That concept of understanding and taking it to the next level has been something that I think the pandemic has been the gift to do that. Yeah. Because I mean, we're going, what is the message? And then it's burning. The West Coast of North America is burning. And we're sitting here going, what? And we need to listen and love. And that will make us whole and healed. So thank you very much. Spirit led that talk all the way. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Linda. Beulah.
Yeah, I want to celebrate a couple of things. Yesterday was my birthday and I'm 90.
Oh, wow.
And I'm healthy.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm pleased with that. Now, the other thing is we got our second vaccine shots. So we're on the road to celebrate.
That's great. Excellent. We're so grateful that you're here and sharing that with us. And I think there's a few of us that have recently had our second shot. So we see it opening up. We see things changing. I think there was some, Pauline and then Wilda.
Tomorrow, Dan and I will be celebrating our 24th wedding anniversary.
All right.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Congratulations. Wilda?
Well, this week I am getting the trusses for the roof of the addition on my house. They have been back ordered. They were supposed to be here this week, but the guys have been amazing. And it's just, you know, just being present to construction is pretty exciting, you know, because my front porch has been started when it wasn't supposed to be started till later on. And all that was available was gray material to do it. I didn't want it, but then a beautiful color showed up. I mean, it's just really been amazing, this whole construction thing. So I'm holding for good weather this week, and my cousin's garden is doing really well, and I'm helping her with that. So I know that later on, well, Catherine, I told her that you wanted to come and we're going to can tomatoes together. So she's all up for that.
Wonderful. Well, we celebrate your abundance and your ability to buy lumber these days.
Yeah.
George.
I would just
And
comment. My neighbor keeps track of my cornfields more than I do. So last week it was so hot. One night the corn grew 6 inches in one night. Wow. And the next night it grew 8 inches.
Wow.
Unbelievable. And yesterday we started seeing tassels in the corn. It must be almost 6 feet tall now.
Wow.
Hey, fabulous that somebody measures that. And we celebrate your abundance in that. That's fabulous.
Thank
Paula,
you.
You had your hand up, but you are muted, so unmute yourself, hon.
Yeah. Yes, I want to celebrate being a Canadian. It was recently, I had my Canadian shirt on. I celebrated with my both sons, one here, and we're sharing here. And I'm celebrating getting a dishwasher this week. It may seem small to you, but when I moved, I lost my cleaning lady. And so I need all the help I can get. And when we get moved in and all settled down, I'll be able to get one again. I get tired. I want to thank Linda. She made such an impression. I had to go and get a box of Kleenex. I really related to her son, and it made me think of my son who died scuba diving. I've always wanted to have said goodbye. And when she said this and her son's arms, I thought of Mark scuba diving with his friend and his friend's arms around him. And in the hospital, in the ambulance, he died. And there were wonderful people there. I know. I've been in an ambulance with a heart attack, and I know what that does. It was a wonderful cry. And I think from there, it will give me a sense of peace. I'm so glad I listened, Linda. I almost didn't this week because I get frustrated with technology. But you know, today it worked perfectly. I can see myself, I can hear myself, and thank you so much for everybody at Unity. Bless you all.
Wow. Anybody else?
Yes.
Thank you, Sylvia.
Thanks, Paula.
Paula, we're all holding you as well.
Oh, I know.
Wow.
It is a celebration.
It is. And I'll say this month we also are celebrating my sister's 75th birthday and my brother-in-law's 79th birthday. So one's just happened on the 1st and one's coming up on the 15th. So a reminder, Ed, your mom's birthday on Thursday.
Yes, I know. I'll go to a party on Thursday.
Yeah, party on Thursday. Let's all get together.
Hi.
Oh.
It's Renee.
Renee.
Hi, Renee.
Hi.
Renee?
No, I'm not the greatest today, but I put myself to listen today because my heart told me to. And I just found out that the passing of a cousin, so of cancer. Anyway, that is not, I mean, to celebrate, but just to relate to the stories that I heard today, and that you know, the person that was with him the last still continues to hold him in high regard, and I know that that's you know, we're not able to say goodbye. We didn't have a chance to do so, but I've been feeling you know, beside myself for just since yesterday, but sharing that beautiful story of everybody's celebrations with abundance. And my really celebration today is that I finished another course that I'm doing. I'm halfway through the 30-something that I'm doing, and
yay!
And that I just started 2 more. So, but what is just really, really what has spoke to me this morning was the course that I'm doing is a communication and counseling skills course. And what it is all about is listening. And those words of just listening to what people are saying, just do this, do this with really open ears. Like you have two, open them wide. And that we need to listen more. We need to listen to the little children always, because they have so much to say to us, even if they can't speak that language. It's just in their actions and their nonverbal. Yes, and the nonverbal words, you know, because they're not speaking, but just their little actions and the love. And that's the strongest word, you know, the love, and whichever way that she expressed. Linda, thank you so much. You've just given me so much more to realize that I'm in the right place today with all of you, because I love you so much. And you know that. Wish I could hug you all. Anyway, thank you. Yes.
We're hugging you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I was a little reluctant to sharing, but you know what? I think that's where we stop resisting. We need to stop resisting and allow. And thank you for all you being here, and when you are, and you continue to be here. I know it's just a phone call away, but and thanks for being there. And I'm so happy for all you guys that have moved up north to the island. I'm on my way there soon.
Come on.
All right. Anyway, thanks everybody for listening.
Thanks, Renee. And
love you guys.
As you talked, it reminds me that, you know, sometimes as we share our spiritual awakening, it does bring tears, but it's all cleansing and it's moving us forward.
Yeah. Good tears.
And we're not alone. Look at us all crying away.
Yeah.
We're it's a cleansing, and that's because, like, you know, we do, it is pain, but it's a joyous pain, because we know that we would have done anything to be with our people that we loved at the last moment in their lives, and no matter who it is and when it is, that we have to accept that, right? And we just are able just love on the people that we're able to do so, right? Yeah. Thank you.
God is under this.
And what their real essence is still lives on. Nobody's ever really gone. We all live on forever.
Yeah, we just miss them here.
That's right. Yeah. Any more today? George?
Thank you, Linda. That was very good. We kind of some of the same experience. It's not a fun thing, but I have a cousin in Grand Rapids, Michigan, that's in stage 4 cancer, and she's wanting to see us. We can't get across the border, of course, and we phone her every time, and she says, "Oh, I wish we could see you again." And it's been really a tough time, and I'm not sure how long she's got. Thank you for your talk, Linda. It was very good.
Yeah, George, would you give me your cousin's first name, and I'll put him on my prayer list every morning. Is his first name
Mary?
Gary?
Mary.
It's Mary. Barry with a B.
Mary.
Mary. Okay.
She's the same age as I am. I've known her all my life.
Yeah.
Amber? You're muted, hon.
Yeah, there we go. I'm just checking. I think, Linda, you've touched us all. Thank you.
Friends, you know, what I have to say is thank you, God, because I've been at this business for 34 years now. And every time I do a talk, maybe definitely the last 15 years, I used to think it was I. And then I really began to understand the words of Jesus when he said, "It is not I, but the Father within who does the work." So when I do my talks now, I go, okay, it's your talk. Just move my lips, baby, and we'll be fine. I mean, that seems flip, but that's what and I am always grateful. And I really appreciate the fact that you spoke that gives me courage to keep working. Honey, I'm going to be 50 so many times over. You're not going to, who's ever having that 50th birthday? I'm 50 so many times over. You wouldn't believe it, but I'm still doing it. I love it.
Well, I'm celebrating the fact that I was able to hold my dog when she died. Last week.
Yeah.
She died in my arms, and I'm grateful.
Yeah.
I miss her, but during your talk, Linda, I felt her. And thank you for that. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm celebrating that. I am very grateful that I was with her when she transitioned.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've touched us all.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Linda,
maybe go ahead.
If Reverend Linda's speaking, bring Kleenex. Okay, I mean,
yeah, that should be a pre-warning, a prerequisite.
So let's also take a few moments to find the joy in our heart. The joy of the fact that we can be together today like this. We can do whatever we want today as far as just being with the people that we love, having some fun and laughter. I'm thinking of those we lost and having good, fond memories. I appreciate you all. I love you all. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Sylvia.
Have a great week, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you again, Linda.
Thank you. Thank you, Linda. Linda.
Thank you. Thank you.
Linda. Linda.
Yes, what?
Would you, that's Paula. When you're thinking of your son, would you say a prayer for mine?
Yes.
His name is Mark.
Okay, and his name was what?
Mark.
Mark, yes. Okay, yeah.
It would give me peace to know that you're doing that. Yeah, thank you.
I'm just gonna add, my son he's a permanent resident. He holds dual citizenship now. I mean, he married a gal years ago, and they have an almost 17-year-old daughter. And he's not, I've said he's never coming back. And I look at him and envy him, because if I could move to where he's living in Scotland, I would leave this screen and I'd start packing my closet. Believe me, it is exquisite where he lives. It is peaceful, it is quiet, and he has a good life. He has a good life. Yeah.
Well, Linda,
God will put his finger on him one of these days, and he'll be surprised, and he'll say, "Mom, you were right all along." On that note, my dear.
Sorry, Linda.
Yes.
When you go to Scotland, and if you do, try and go to Findhorn. It's close to Edinburgh. It's a beautiful centre. I went when I was 30. I'm a little older now. And you will love it. So much change just go on. I keep their hub, and their stories come through on my iPad. And
I see.
Yeah, you can just go into Findhorn and they will send you stories. They have a story hub. And some of the stories you might like to use, but it's such a beautiful center. And, I met the original people there, and David Spangler, and I'd love to go back, but I need company. So I'm trying to persuade a friend of mine to go back with me. I'd love to spend another week there, because it was about 300. And now it shows pictures at about 3,000. And they have built special circular buildings